The best in poker news, entertainment, and more. This is the Mark Hoke Show.
Hey everybody, how are we doing today? We are live here at the World Series of Poker. Ever always. Hopefully no technical difficulties. No crazy stuff going on, and no Father's Day either. Boy, that was a distraction yesterday. I gotta admit that. Daughter wanted to go, and and of course a disastrous dinner, by the way. Had a great time at Bocce Burger though. Finally got to go there. Hadn't been there for a while. But yeah, not a good, not a well-behaved child, unfortunately, on Father's Day. So, but it was fun. But it was a wild Father's Day yesterday here at the World Series. So, had 2 bracelets given away, and 2 good friends of the show coming up just short last night. As Justin Oliver and Joe Tehan just missed winning bracelets. And, of course, a lot more going on, too. It turned out to be it was a dull day, but I think we're going to have to shift that Sunday show to the evening because certainly there was a lot happening. So I think that's the move to make for sure. Katie Stone's going to be stopping by in just a little bit. Steve Miller and Rich Sondheimer from Share My Pair app running around here looking completely lost and like little sheep. We will herd them at some point. Great app, by the way. I haven't checked it out. And, a lot of great pros using it. So maybe you should, too. It's pretty nice. It's on my phone. All right. And, by the way, you can tell now that the Europeans are finally starting to show up because there are many languages and a lot more noise in the hallways, which is okay. It's good. I'm not complaining. We love the Europeans coming out here to the World Series. But it always gets a little more flair out here when the Europeans show up. All right, so we're going to break down what happened last night and, of course, all the action coming up today in just a little bit. But we do want to remind you about a whole lot of stuff going on with our great sponsors of the show, and we want to thank all of them. Do want to take care of the immediate business that we have, of course, this one, and Dimwit me. Let's try this again. The World Series of Fighting, an All-American Day. Just my heart just skips a beat every time you walk by. You know that, right? I do my best.
By the way, this saved us.
They're awesome, aren't they?
Oh my gosh, they're amazing.
The Arctic Blue Cooling Towel, winning over the hearts and minds of All-American Dave servers and staff all over the world. It's very exciting. World Series of Fighting 10 is coming up on Saturday. That will be live on NBC Sports. But if you're here in Las Vegas, we've got tickets right down here. We're going to be giving a few away, but we also have some for sale if you want to come down and check it out. 3 title fights on this one. Branch versus Taylor, Karakian against Glenn, and a strawweight fight. Pretty cool. Ladies going at it. Aguiar against Fujino. So that's I believe a little lighter weight than what Ronda Rousey fights at. But a pretty exciting night. So if you want to check it out, it's at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino coming up on Saturday night. That'll be 6 p.m. Pacific time. So make sure you check that out. I want to thank those guys for supporting the show. We do appreciate it. And, of course, we have a lot of our great friends of the show here, too, like our good friends at Arctic Blue Cooling Towels we just mentioned. It's not cool to be hot. Pick up an Arctic Blue Cooling Towel. It's getting toasty here in Las Vegas and all around the rest of the country, so make sure you pick up an Arctic Blue Cooling Towel, arcticblu.com. Faraz Jaka, that is sexy. That is sexy. Oh, I wish you could see that hat. That is something else. I don't even know what that is. That was some sort of mutated teddy bear with an afro on it and tassels. Maybe we'll get Faraz to stop by later on during the show. And, of course, our good friends at Team Poker Joker, want to say hi to them. We've got a few different apparel companies working with the show here. Team Poker Joker, they are the cult of poker kids. I mean, they are all great friends in Minnesota and are starting to spread around the country. And make sure you go to teampokerjoker.com. You're going to get 10% off with the code Vegas Hoke. That's right, Vegas Hoke. Poker Tilt, the new Dutch Boyd book is out. You can get it on Amazon or at pokertilt.com. It's an amazing book, and you definitely want to grab that at your first opportunity. It is very good. Getting a ton of great reviews, so make sure you check that out. Oh, and I got to, you know what? I got to talk to this guy. He got victimized last night, brutally victimized. Heads up. You want to say hi to everybody real fast? You got a minute? Because this is about as good as an update as we can get. Justin Oliver joining us here again, and Justin heads up last night for a bracelet and came up just short. I mean, a couple hands heads up. That was it. What a wild one. Tell us about what happened last night.
Oh man, Mark, I'm still in a daze. It was a wild day. Incredible experience. I don't know how much you could tell from the live feed about how it was in that room. It was totally different than my final table from last year. It was like a main event final table. The rails were insane. It was crazy. People were drunk. People were going crazy. Rails were fighting with each other.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was madness in there. And the experience, the ambiance, and it was amazing. Like, the experience, I'll just never forget it. It was so cool. Great experience. Absolutely just, we got to heads up, and I really thought it was destiny for me to win it, because I don't know if I told you this. In one of the shootouts, I got to heads up with Sylvain Luce-Lee and played with him for 7 hours. And obviously he's from France, like my opponent last night. And he got me after 7 hours, and it killed me. But it battle hardened me. And I thought, next time I get to heads up, I feel bad for my opponent, because I'm going to win. I'm just going to be unstoppable, because it sharpened my heads up game. It battle hardened me. I felt, at first I was devastated, but then I felt like whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah.
So when we got to heads up, I just thought, I'm winning this. I just thought it was destiny, and to lose it so fast was heartbreaking. I'm happy with the way I played the hand. I think, he got lucky, and, he 3-bet me with King 6 and flopped King 6, and I happen to have the King as well with the King Jack. So if I had it to play over again, I've discussed it and thought about it a bunch, and if I had it to play over again, I'm pretty sure I'm still getting stacked. I think I might have played it slightly differently. I would have called pre, I would have called the flop. I think I would have flatted the turn and let him jam the river in case he still had bluffs in his range. So no matter what I did, I was getting stacked there, or at least, almost stacked. I was left with a little bit of chips. So I'm happy with the way I played the hand, and I'm grateful for the second. I'm grateful for the experience. I congratulate him. I'm happy for him. He was a good kid. He played well, and it just didn't come together at the end, but I'll be there again. So
yeah,
great.
It was interesting just watching you battle your way through that final table too, because you were behind most of the way and just kept grinding and grinding and grinding.
I'm always
to
behind.
fight to get to that heads up, because I know I was watching the chips counts, and I'm just like, man, he's going to have a uphill climb to get to heads up, but you made it. That's a compliment to you as is.
Thank you. I'm always behind. They always underestimate me. I'm always coming from behind. They never know who I am. The two kids at the table, Barry and Jamie, I've played with Barry multiple times, and he didn't even remember me, and they always underestimate me. So my strategy for tournament poker is to just be patient and just wait for them to make mistakes and just let them knock each other out. And there was spots where I made some really tight folds and just waited for people, and the numbers just melt away. I love tournament poker. You just look at the number. It starts at 1150. It goes down to 500 people. It goes to 100 people. Before you know it, there's 5 people left in the tournament, and I just sit there and I'm just patient, waiting and watching that number shrink. And so luckily some things came together for me, and I'm happy with the finish. It was just a really fun day, and my rail was just amazing. I can't thank them enough. I couldn't have done it without them. I had so much support. I felt so much love. Everybody showed up, and it was just an incredible day. It's funny. I'll say this. I'm really close friends with Pasha Esfandiari. It's Antonio's brother. And he said to me a couple months ago, and Pasha just knows things. He says weird things. He said to me a couple months ago, he said, at this World Series, you're going to make a final table, and you're not going to win it. He said, you're going to make your first final table for the series. You're not going to win it. You're going to come close. But then you're going to make another final table, and you're going to win it. So I'm back today. I'm on no sleep. I'm going to reg the 5K, and who knows? You never know what can happen.
Yeah, well, it's a shame that things kind of turned out the way they did. Just a horrible flop on that hand, because otherwise it's over and you're the champion. But a great run for you, buddy, and always good to see you keep grinding away, man. Always has a smile on your face too. That's the fun part.
You have to. You know what? I had so much fun yesterday. I'll tell you what. I may not be the best player at every final table I'm at. I don't know. I'll let critics decide that for themselves. But I'll tell you what, I'm having the most fun of everybody.
Yeah.
I love it. I would rather be at a final table than any other place on the planet. I love it. I love playing for bracelets. I love playing for high stakes. I love playing at final tables. I have a great time. And if you're not having fun, then what's the point? You got to have fun with the game, and that's what it's all about.
Well, still a long way to go in this World Series for you. So
that's right.
Plenty of chances to pick up that bracelet.
I hope so. From your mouth to God's ears.
All right. Well, congratulations,
Thanks,
Justin.
Mark. I
Very
really
nice job.
appreciate it. And I'll come by and chat later. Hopefully we have some good news for you.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Mark.
There you go. Runner-up from last night, Justin Oliver. So close. So close. And if you missed that, we were gonna talk about that hand in a little bit. Since we're on the topic, we can get back to our good friends of the show, like Run Good Gear and Blind Squirrel Apparel, and all these great companies we've got on board with us. Double-digit covers and Final 9 Comic that just launched at final9comic.com. But let's take a look at what happened at that final table last night, because it was unbelievable what went on there at the end of this tournament. Of course, the winner, Pierre Milan, out of France, taking down the bracelet, knocking off Justin Oliver. Matt Salzberg, his deepest run here at the World Series this year, going third. And, pretty good final table there. Thad McNulty, Barry Hutter, Jamie Armstrong, Andy Fan, Daniel Lamming, Sam Cohen, David Benefield. Your top 10 in event number 29. But if you missed it last night, an unreal situation with the heads-up battle, where basically these two guys came in about dead even into the heads-up match. And when we hit heads up with Salzberg was eliminated on hand 127, and on hand 131, here's what happened. Oliver raised to 200 on the button. Milan 3-bets to 525 from the big blind. Oliver calls, and the flop comes King 6-3 Rainbow. Milan continues for 425. Oliver calls. Queen on the turn. Milan bets 1.2, a little over 1.2 million. Oliver goes all in, and Milan calls immediately. Milan was just behind Oliver on the hand, or on chip count. Milan shows a King 6. Oliver had a King Jack, so Milan gets a lucky card on that flop and flops 2 pair, River 9, and that ends up putting Milan to 8.5 million, and Oliver went down to 230,000, and it was over on the next hand as Oliver had a pair of 6s, but got out flopped by Milan one more time. So a crazy heads-up match that lasted about 4 hands. But Justin Oliver coming up just short on that bracelet. But congratulations to Pierre Milan. Being a pretty darn good final table, and a pretty good final, too, as well. And where's Waldo? Where's Waldo? Rich Ryan. Dropping equipment, but looking sharp today. Looking very sharp. Rich Ryan, everybody. So that was event number 29 last night as Justin Oliver comes up short. But I'll tell you what, a lot of guys, when you see them and they end up being a runner-up in a World Series event, it's pretty crushing to them. I know we were talking a little bit about that to Greg Raymer, that it's just very hard to get over finishing second when you're chasing a World Series of Poker bracelet. But Justin's ready to get back on the horse. It's pretty obvious. So Justin Oliver ends up just short on event number 29 in that no-limit hold'em event. We also had another final table, another bracelet given out last night, event number 30, and the 7-card stud high, low, 8 or better, and that is won by Calvin Anderson, who has been playing incredibly well, and was actually rated the top online tournament player in the world as recently as last November, and now picking up his first World Series of Poker bracelet. And Anderson actually did a fantastic job, took the lead on this final table pretty quickly, and did not look back. The big hand for him, and of course this was against Joe Tehan, one of the top players in the world out there. Tehan coming up just short in the 7-card stud. The big hand, Anderson had to bring in. Tehan completes. Anderson raises to 60,000, and Tehan makes it 3-bets it. Anderson re-raised. Tehan calls. 4th Street, Tehan bet. Anderson calls. Same thing on 5th Street. On 6th Street, Anderson bet out. Tehan called for Anderson bet on 7th Street, and Tehan called, leaving just 20,000 back. And a pretty sick hand. Anderson was showing ace, deuce, 8. Deuce 5, ace 8 with 3 spades up. Tehan 6, 5, 8 of clubs, king of spades showing. Anderson then flips over queen, queen, deuce with 2 spades for an ace high flush. And Tehan double checked his cards and then threw him in the muck. So guessing Tehan may have hit a flush on that as well. So of course they didn't report the hand because Tehan threw him in. But a crushing hand there as Tehan ends up. Anderson went to 2.6 million. Tehan was down to 20,000. So that pretty much finished it off as Joe Tehan gets knocked off on the next hand and finishes second to Calvin Anderson. So a couple of big names coming up just short last night, winning World Series bracelets. But that is event number 30 on that one. Yeah, but exciting night. That was for sure. I mean, and I know, Justin had a great rail last night. A lot of people came out to support him. But both these great players and class guys just missing World Series gold this year. Just missing. Let's take a look at event number 31. Pull that one up for you. And that was a no-limit hold'em event. $1,500 buy-in. Got a $2.2 million prize pool on that one. And they are headed into day 3. And we actually have the seating charts up there finally. That's good. Let's take a look at the chip counts. And we are looking at Matt Stout. And, of course, Matt was really struggling at the beginning of the World Series when we had him on the show. Was just having a hard time. But Matt Stout is now leading the way and in a pretty good position at this point. $1.13 million for Mr. Stout. Alexander Goffman is in second, a little over $1 million. Brent Schaefer is in third, $812,000. Eric Spitzer, Peter Gold, Ronald Sullivan, Stephen McNally, Robert Schmidt, Jason Vanstrom, Raji Wazwaz. That's a new name for us. Jim Jacobson, Kyle Weir, pretty well-known name. In 12th place, Michael Souza and Brian Reisner will bring up this crowd. They're listing 15, but it does say 14 on here. They do have the table draws set up, so we can take a fast look at that for you. And Matt Stout is going to be pretty good opportunity for Matt to take out some people here. His table draw, very good. Is Stout with a 1.13, managed to stay away from second place, and has Jacobson 350, Sullivan 537, Wazwaz 359. In seats 1, 2, 3, Stouts in 4. Vanstrom's in seat 5, 422. And then Weir at 181 and Reisner at 133. So not the best of spots for Weir and Reisner. Stout is going to probably try to devastate those two short stacks. Would have the only thing that could have been really better for him was to slide over a couple more seats and keep all those guys, keep Vanstrom on his other side. But a pretty good spot for Matt Stout going into these last two tables. Alexander Goffman on the other table listed at 951, so that's a little bit less than what they've gotten reported at. Chad Holloway, by the way. Chad Holloway, Poker News. Sporting the Nikes. Goffman also gets a seat 4 draw, but he's going to have to mess with Brent Schaefer and a couple of big stacks to his left. So it's going to be a little bit of harder time for Goffman, but I think Matt Stout Given this table draw, it should be headed for a final table without a doubt. And we'll see if Matt can finally come through and win that World Series of Poker bracelet today. Probably would imagine we'll be getting some updates for you on that on the evening show. So looking pretty good there. Event number 32, No Limit Hold'em 6-handed event. As that is has whittled down to 13 players. Their day has not started yet, but we'll take a look at your chip counts. And it is Max Silver right now out of the UK. Of course, starting to see those international players showing up and stepping up here a little bit. He leads the way, 1.27 million, followed by Hiran Patel and Joe Cotta. Of course, once again, we were talking about a World Series of Poker main event champions that no one has won a second bracelet since Carlos Mortensen did it. And so Joe Cotta now in a position trying to bring home a World Series of Poker bracelet in this 6-handed event. He sits in third, 794. Kyle White, Canadian, is 732. And Jeremy Osmus making a deep run. Of course, won his first World Series of Poker bracelet over in Europe this year. And will try to win one here in Las Vegas. He sits at 612. Dario Sammartino in 6th place at 551. JC Tran, 527. Scott Clements also in this day. I mean, this just gets nastier and nastier. And then it gets fun at the end, too. Clements, 477. George Danzer, Chasing Player of the Year. And, a final table could certainly take him up a notch on that list. Danzer, 329. Lane Flack, Nate Dowland, by the way, walking by. I'm sure we'll see him tonight. Danzer, 329. But Lane Flack at 325. Martin Jacobson, 297. And Eric Lindgren is in this group, too. Can you believe that? So Lane Flack and Eric Lindgren both in this final 13, along with Lee Markholt there as well. So could we possibly see a Lane Flack, Eric Lindgren showdown coming up in this tournament? Imagine they're probably going to be getting the chips in here pretty quickly. Blinds are at 5,000, 10,000. So, still plenty of room for those guys to play. Nobody under the old, nobody under 20 big blinds at this point. You still got your handies going in there. Not the M's still reasonable, so nobody has to make any crazy plays on this. But if anybody knows how to get the job done here, it would be Lane Flack and Eric Lindgren. Those two guys should be a challenge to knock out of this tournament today. So you got Cotta, Osmus, Tran, Clements, Danzer, Flack, Lindgren, Markholt, a great group coming into the final 13 of the No Limit Hold'em 6-handed event. So another exciting final table should be coming up today. Event number 33. Now the 1K No Limit Hold'em that kicked off yesterday, they are down to 112. Here are your standings at this point. First time we've seen one of the Brazilians at the top of the board. Galter Salles, 170, is in the lead right now. He's out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And we have Sebastian Comel out of France, Saint-Pierre-du-Mont. At 151. Brad Lisman out of Annapolis, Maryland, at 127. Shelby Stanley. And then Vinny Pahuja sits in 5th place right now. One of the great East Coast grinders. Looking good. He sits at 5th place. Goran Mandic out of Croatia in 6th at 110, followed by Sean Jazairi at 101. Will Givens at 8th. And a guy who just keeps seeming to find his way to the tops of these leaderboards. He has been having a solid World Series is Dutch Boyd, the author of Poker Tilt. Boyd has really come out on fire. Maybe writing this book was a little therapeutic for Dutch. Got a little bit off his mind. But Dutch Boyd standing in 9th place right now at 93,000 here on day 2 of this event. You also have Jonas Wexler in 11th, Martin Finger in 14th, Faraz Jaka in 18th. And keep going down there. Dan Kelly's in 22nd, Ali Islami 25th. And look, Mike Sowers having a very good World Series. Came up just short of a bracelet earlier. He sits in 32nd place right now. And looking down the list, seeing who else we've got here. Pierre Neuville in 44th. So these guys, Mac Lance in there too at 55th. So should be a wild day here for the 1K buy-in event number 33 here at the World Series of Poker. The event number 34, a 7-card stud event, and a little disappointing turnout on this one. Sunday night, 7-card stud, 345. Probably not going to get rid of this event, but that is a very disappointing number, I think, for the World Series. But 60 players left in that one. So we may be able to get down to a final table in this tournament as well. Steve Sung, your leader, followed by Will Thompson, Brian Campanello, Brian Hastings, John DiAgostino, Carolyn Gardner, Bryn Kenny, Steve Albini, Scott Bowman, and Marcel Lusk, your top 10. Cindy Violette off to a nice start in this one, sitting in 11th. Daniel Negreanu's in 13th. Stephen Chidwick, Alex Kravchenko also there. Phil Locke, Robert Mizraki, Eric Buckman, Barbara Enright has a few chips in this thing too. So looking forward to a pretty exciting day for the 7-card stud. Small field, but a very good one, as it usually is for the mixed games events. So look forward to seeing that 7-card stud tournament filter out as we go forward through the rest of the day. 2 events kicking off today. We got the No Limit Hold'em 8-handed event. That one is a 5K buy-in, if I'm correct. Yes. Right now listing $299. Of course, more to come in there, I'm sure. But that one just getting started today at noon. And then your 4 o'clock start today is the No Limit Deuce to 7 Draw Low Ball event. That one getting underway at 4 o'clock with a $1,500 buy-in. So that is your World Series of Poker update right now as we stand. So pretty exciting things happen at the WSOP. We're going to see some awesome play today. Might see three tables getting down to, or 3 tournaments get down to their final tables tonight. So looking forward to watching all the action coming in there. All right, we're going to step back. We're going to take a break. And I believe Katie Stone's flying around. We'll see who else we can grab here, too. A lot of great players flying around today, so we'll see who we can grab. Maybe catch everybody at the 2 o'clock break. So stick around, everybody. We'll be right back on the Mark Hoke Show. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you on the other side.
3 World Championship fights.
Welcome to Mixed Martial Arts.
Mexican phenom and #1 ranked strawweight woman in the world, Jessica Aguilar defends her world title against Emi Vagino. Georgie Karakanyan defends his featherweight title against Rick Glenn.
Talk about the power.
And David Branch goes head-to-head against Jesse Taylor for the middleweight championship.
Whoa!
Saturday, June 21st, it's WSOF 10 live on NBCSN.
Las Vegas and World Series of Poker fans, don't miss your chance to see WSOF 10 live on June 21st at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Tickets on sale now, and visit us today at WSOF.com.
RunGoodGear.com is one of poker's premier online stores for apparel. Their mission is to provide poker players with stylish and comfortable clothes for their daily grind. You've probably seen Run Good Gear at the World Series of Poker through Run Good Poker Pro Rob Salaburo, or around the country through the WSOP circuit. Today, RunGoodGear.com is the place to go to gear up for the poker felt. So go there now with the promo code HOKE, that's HOKE, for 10% off your entire online purchase. Remember Hoke. Now go gear up.
When it comes to custom poker tables, why would you buy something someone else designed and even named for their sales or marketing purposes?
The Nighthawk, the Gambler, the Big Slick, the Nuts.
Sure, you can customize it if you want, as long as you choose between black, red, or even green cloth, but that's about it. When you choose to play off tilt, it's not just another table, it's your table. The same price gets you a fully custom designed table that reflects your style and game. Off tilt makes it easy to design a truly one-of-a-kind custom poker table that'll give you home table advantage. Sure, Off Tilt could name their tables for marketing purposes, but why? It's not ours. We don't play on it. And to be honest, there are over 1,000 named Off Tilt tables worldwide, including the WSOP, the Deep Stacks Poker Tour, the Jonathan Papelbon, as well as Julie's, Chris's, Scott's, Amber's, Tristan's, just to name a few. So let us add your name to the list and deliver a truly custom-crafted, furniture-quality poker table worthy of your game. Visit www.offtiltpokertables.com or call Brian Knott today at 262-490-3812. We'll show you why Off Tilt is the only way to play.
Sports bettors, tired of getting beat every week at your sportsbook? It's time to stop guessing and start winning. We all know cash is king, and it's time to let the team at Double-Digit Covers come to the rescue to help you get the positive cash flow you need to live the life you've always dreamed about. Tony Dos and his all-star sports handicapping team will be in your corner to help you beat the point spread, bring excitement and winning to your betting experience, and build your bankroll to levels you never thought possible. Get free winning sports information at doubledigitcovers.com. Stop guessing and start winning today at doubledigitcovers.com.
Call now for today's free winner. 1-855-489-2700. That's 1-855-489-2700.
At Team Poker Joker, we build innovative, high-performance, poker-focused apparel designed to keep you cool and calm in tough situations. Wait, no we don't. We've just got a cool brand representing the suits of this beautiful game called poker. Our gear won't make you better, but it will keep a smile on your face. So don't be so serious and show you know how to have fun. Get your Poker Joker gear today at TeamPokerJoker.com. Grin and win today at TeamPokerJoker.com.
9 poker players on a dramatic path to glory with unbelievable twists and turns that will keep you on the edge of your seat. It's the Final 9 comic from Room 110 Publishing. Go to final9comic.com to download the first issue preview and get ready for the official launch coming soon. 9 will become 1 way or another. Final9comic.com. And for more details, make sure to follow them on Twitter and like them on Facebook at Final 9 Comic.
The heat is on. Whether you're in the hot seat of a major poker tournament or just dealing with everyday life, stay cool with a brand new Arctic Blue cooling towel. Just wet your reusable and durable Arctic Blue cooling towel in cold water and you'll have instant cooling relief at your fingertips for up to 5 hours. The towel is lightweight and pliable, so you can keep it handy no matter where you are. Plus, it's absorbent enough to make sure you and your clothes stay dry while you stay cool. No need to sweat it out no matter what you're doing when you have an Arctic Blue cooling towel handy. So get the same cooling towel used by professional athletes, poker players, first responders, physical therapists, U.S. automakers, and even reality TV stars. So what are you waiting for? Visit them today at arcticblu.com and pick yours up today. Plus, enter the discount code MarkHokeShow when you check out and get 15% off plus free shipping to keep some of your cold hard cash in your wallet. It's like the Arctic Blue Bear says, it's not cool to be hot. So pick up your Arctic Blue cooling towel today.
One man, his lucky shirt, an unforgettable night, and a winning streak that never seemed to end. That's how Blind Squirrel began, and we haven't looked back since. We make the clothes that we want to wear for the places where we want to look and feel our best. The game, the speakeasy, and the casino floor. Blind Squirrel's small batch, high-quality gear is for people too busy grabbing life by the nuts to bother with crappy, ill-fitting clothing. Because like you, we prefer our nights long, our drinks strong, and our lucky shirt to be our most comfortable. So look good, be lucky, and visit blindsquirrelapparel.com for your new favorite shirt. As an added bonus, you'll receive 20% off your purchase with the promo code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You can also pick up Blind Squirrel apparel at the Borgata in Atlantic City and in Las Vegas at all Masura stores at Mandalay Bay, Monte Carlo, The Mirage, and MGM Grand. Look good and be lucky with Blind Squirrel Apparel.
Your business and promotion will only go as far as your website will take you. That's why the Mark Hoke Show has only trusted one name for over 2 years, BlueRail.net. Whether you need custom website design and development packages or simply need a host for your website, Blue Rail is the only developer to turn to. It's time to discover the world-class personalized service only the Blue Rail team can provide. Visit us at BlueRail.net and call 520-822-5128 right now for your free consultation today. So get on board at BlueRail.net. How far do you want to go?
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcast. All right, we're back. Sorry about that momentary sound loss. Apologize about that one. It's time to replace the power pack cord on my soundboard. I've only been beating the hell out of that for 3 years. Katie Stone's here.
Hello.
We got you. You're talking to make sure we're. Hello. Hello. Well, we're going to have more technical difficulties just for fun. This will be interesting. That was working. Swear to God. There we go. All right. That's going to help.
Yay.
How are you?
I'm tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, just long days. It's like getting into week 3, been here, so you're starting to get, the throat is starting to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Your feet are starting to hurt, because you're not drinking enough water. And but usually at least once a summer I get like the Rio flu that everybody gets too, but I usually don't get it too badly, but yeah, it's about that time.
Yeah, I know.
You already had it, right?
No, I don't think I've technically had the Rio flu yet.
Oh, okay.
No.
I think it's just like a few days, like just some sort of small virus or whatever. It just lasts a few days and it just makes you feel really yucky.
Yeah.
Nothing serious or anything, but poker chips are pretty dirty. When you think about it, they're pretty great for transmitting all sorts of unspeakables.
Yes. That is a good way to put it. Unspeakables.
Think about that one for a minute.
I think that's something that, it's funny that you brought that up because when you come out here for a sustained period of time, I mean, for guys that are the weekend warriors, come out for a few days, it's really not a big deal. But when everybody comes out here and spends the 7 weeks, there's, you can't help but you have thousands and thousands of people coming in here, and, we're all shaking hands, the cards, the chips, everything that's going around. That is a factor in getting through the World Series, is trying to stay healthy and not catch a cold, because it really does happen to everyone.
Yeah, I mean, you're basically like, I don't know, the way I kind of see it is you're like living in an airport for 2 months.
Yeah.
I mean, is it any different?
No.
It's really not, because it's people from all over the world traveling here and just constantly coming and going, and it's like going and living in an airport for 2 months, basically. So yeah, I mean, I carry hand sanitizer with me. Sometimes I even have it on the table if I see, some people like coughing or just being a little bit, messy with like food
doing
or with
this and that,
even putting fingers like in their ears and like whatever. So I've actually sprayed chips in the pot before I wouldn't allow the dealer to ship the pot to me. I took my hand sanitizer and sprayed the chips.
Wow.
Because the guy was sneezing into his hands, like having a sneezing fit, probably like 15 sneezes over like a 3-minute period. Ooh. And he was sneezing, wide open hands, sneezing like this. And then eventually he and I got into an all-in where, on the river, and I, went to Showdown and won the pot. So the dealer is starting to ship me the pot, and I'm like, no. And I started spraying the chips. And the really, really embarrassing thing was, and I knew this, but I couldn't control myself, his wife was sitting at the table as well. And she was sitting across from me, and he was sitting next to me. And, she if looks could kill, is all I could say. If looks could kill. But what are you going to do?
But what are you going to do? Exactly.
I mean, come on. Like, I don't want to get this guy's germs all over.
I don't blame you.
So.
I mean, it is a little unusual to see somebody spray down the chips. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that.
So I haven't seen anybody else do it either.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's unreasonable.
Exactly.
And, I started a thread. I started a thread about this on 2+2 a few years ago. And damn it, I didn't bump it this summer. And I'm going to bump it right now because I usually bumped it the last summer too. Mm-hmm. And it's a PSA about washing your hands in the restroom.
Mm-hmm.
It's just wash your hands. Just please, please, please wash your hands, because we're all touching these chips and we're all out here spending money, and a lot of us are losing, you know? So it's like we want to be able to at least be healthy to try and go to work,
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. The worst thing is when people sneeze and cough in their hands.
In their hands. Oh my
Look,
God.
no, you don't do it in the hands. It's the elbow. It's the elbow tuck.
I've even had problems with dealers. And I feel so bad. Like I feel so bad, but when the dealers are coughing into their hands and sneezing into their hands, and then dealing the cards, I'm like, whoa, like use your elbow.
Yeah.
Like just sneeze into your shirt. Or like you can even do this, like just, sometimes I do that. Sometimes I just sneeze into my shirt like that. That's okay too, Like if I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt, I won't sneeze into this. I'll just sneeze into my blouse. And that's fine, Nobody's going to get germs there. At least nobody at the poker table.
Sorry, Joe. I'm so sorry, Joe. That's all right.
What happens when my boyfriend is in a day 2?
Yeah.
I don't have anything to do because I'm not in day 2.
You're getting red-faced.
Yes.
That's all right.
That was not good. That wasn't
That's
good.
okay.
That was bad.
You have told me some of the worst stories about what people do at the poker table, though. The bare feet was bad.
Yeah.
I remember. Tell everybody about that one. That was horrible.
I mean, first of all, there was a man, and you know what? I don't even remember where this was, but he was picking his toenails, his feet. He had taken his shoes off. He was wearing flip-flops, so it was like he didn't have to take very much off. He was picking his toenails, like he had his leg up on another chair. And just, very meticulously just picking his toenails. Another time, there was a guy with an actual nail clipper at the table, just in between hands, getting some landscaping done. Yeah, I mean, last year, the blood on the cards was really fun,
Oh,
too.
God,
yeah,
no.
I remember that. Thank you.
How'd that happen?
No, yeah. No idea. No idea. The blood on the cards was fun. So yeah, I've been playing poker for 10 years. 2014. I started in 2004. I've been in the poker world for 10 years. I've seen a lot of stuff. And people just continue to amaze me. That it's just like I thought I saw the grossest thing a few years ago. No. Just wait. Just wait. They'll think of new ways to be gross.
Sure makes a case for electronic tables to a small point, doesn't it?
Well,
at something like this where you have so many people,
yes.
That might not necessarily be a bad thing when you think about it.
Well, here's something that I've just observed. As people get better in poker and they become more aware, I think that the tournaments that I'm playing now are actually moving a lot slower than they have in the past. And I think I think there's several reasons for that. But I think one of the reasons is that, in general, people are getting better and they're understanding, effective stacks, and they're understanding that they need to keep track of the stacks. And so they're continually asking to see stacks and continually asking to, see how much somebody has. And that slows the game down. There's nothing wrong with that. You need to know the stack sizes. You need to have the information to make your decision. I'm not faulting anybody for that. But that is one case I could make for an electronic table, is just having that digital readout screen, and there would never be any sort of chip movement. It would just be all electronic. The number is always there, right there, just like online, which for me would be great because that's kind of what I do anyway at the live table. Like right. I visualize people with a little thing underneath their face with their chip count, and I try to keep an approximate number under each person. If I don't do that, I'm completely out of it. I have to focus like that.
It would be interesting to maybe do some sort of combination where you can still have cards, but you could actually do an electronic, have the dealer do an electronic chip movement. Some sort of read like that. I
think that is an interesting idea, and it's something that I've thought about before as well. But the problem is, I think that one issue with it would be just, I think a lot of amateurs, they like the feel of the chips.
Yeah.
You have, they like to play. I don't play with my chips. The only time I really touch my chips is when I'm putting them into a pot or when I'm winning a pot. But a lot of people do like to play with their chips, and I think that taking the chips away would maybe take a little bit of maybe even a large part of the experience away for amateurs. And so I'm not really sure, especially like, let's just say like the local poker room, like here, the Rio, that locals probably are frequenting. They don't play poker very much, probably. They're just, casual players. I think that they would be less likely to go and play poker if those tables was just a digital readout screen, because it's more like a slot machine,
Sure.
And so I don't. I could be totally wrong though. But.
It would be interesting to test that out and see how that would go.
I would definitely love to see a life-size poker table with real cards and e-chips.
Because you wouldn't be, well, it would, I mean, I've played on electronic tables. Actually, the Plaza here in Las Vegas uses them. Small room, but they use them. And you have to confirm your bets. So you can't flip in the wrong size chip. There's no deceptiveness
of the
on that.
colors.
No way to do chip fraud. I mean, unless you
Yep.
find a way to hack into the system somehow, but then it would show up right away. I mean,
Right.
So that's an intriguing.
That might be the future. I mean, that might be the future. I mean, especially the security part. Like we've had. There's been so many issues this year, even just with chip security, and obviously, Borgata being the largest one, but. I mean, it would pretty much eliminate the problem, would it not?
It would. You wouldn't have to be spending thousands and thousands of dollars on chips either. I mean,
right.
Where the Borgata had to replace those chips
with
with
the RFD things
and the
they
black
cost a
light
lot.
stuff. They're
Oh yeah.
Borgata lost a lot of money on that one.
Yeah.
That hurt.
Oh yeah. I think that would be really cool for something, for the World Series. Obviously with online poker coming back to the U.S. and then now also this recent news of, Amaya purchasing PokerStars and Amaya having the ties to Caesars. The World Series could potentially, be the people who debut something like that, debuting a tournament where it's, or maybe they just have one table. So it's like a special table.
Yeah, like a sit and go kind of thing set up.
Exactly, like just something like in the pavilion or something. Like if you just, it's like a promotional type thing.
Right.
But if you're gonna debut it, I think it would be here. Is where you should do it.
Yeah, it would be a lot of fun. By the way,
are people doing that? Is that being worked on right now? Do you know if anybody's doing anything like that?
I don't know.
Because the electronic tables that you're talking about, it's like cards and chips.
Yes.
Or e-cards, e-chips.
Yes.
Okay. So nothing with actual real cards, because that way it just eliminates the dealer, doesn't it?
Pretty much.
There's no dealer on those.
There's no dealer on the e-tables.
Oh. Yeah. And see, this also eliminates dealer mistakes.
Yes.
Which are rampant. I'm sorry to say.
Speeds up the game a little bit too, obviously.
Yeah, that's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
But speeds up the game definitely, and little to no error. I guess if the power goes out, you're in trouble.
Yeah, that would be the one problem you could have if the table conked out.
Yeah.
That would be horror bad.
Yeah. I would be really interested. I hope that some genius out there, Alexander Dreyfus, GPI.
Yeah, there you go.
I hope that he's one of the guys that could do something like that. He needs to do this.
Well, let's get him.
Yeah.
I'll call him. I think he was on
call him
Skype.
right now.
I'll get him on Skype. So let's get to work.
Just tell him to do it.
Yeah.
He would do it right.
Oh yeah, sure. Hey, by the way, you and I didn't get to talk about this PokerStars deal.
It just blows my mind. It blows my mind. I mean, I've heard some stuff I've been reading, and I have my own theory about what has happened. But why don't you let me know what your theory is?
Well, just right now, of course, we haven't talked about it for a few days, but of course, sale to Amaya Gaming for $4.9 billion.
Yeah, and I don't think that's enough, by the way.
Really?
No.
Wow. What would you have paid for PokerStars?
Oh, I mean, 4.9 is not enough. No, I don't think that. I once again, I don't think we have all the information.
Probably.
So, having gone through a sale of a company myself, I on a much smaller scale, but I can understand that a lot goes into it, and this had been going on for a year, as a lot of sales do take a year or more. But I don't believe that we know everything, and I don't think that we've seen the last of the Scheinbergs. And I don't think that they're not giving this up. Like Poker Stars is theirs. There's something else. There's something else to it. I just don't see how it's possible for them to just hand it over for $4.9 billion. There's just there's so much more to it that we don't know, and we probably will never know. But
So are you saying that you think that they may still have some sort of loose attachment?
Oh, definitely.
At this point?
Definitely. I mean, I think there's zero chance that they sold 100% of Poker Stars. There's just zero chance of that happening.
Yeah, it was interesting because we did find there was a report that had an internal email from the Scheinbergs, from Mark Scheinberg to the rest of the company saying thank you, and we'll miss everybody, and it's going to be hard to not be around Poker Stars. So yeah, that's it wouldn't shock me. Yeah, it wouldn't shock me. There's something getting funneled their way.
Yeah. I also think it's very sad too, on the other hand, because when you think about it, this is a family that started a company, a hugely successful company that completely took over and created a market, basically, and we're forced into this, basically. Mm-hmm. And I think it's really sad, as myself, having been somebody who had to flee the country to make a living after Black Friday. I think it's really sad that this is happening. It doesn't matter that they're not from the United States, but the fact that the U.S. can do that, I think is just, it makes me sad.
Yeah. Well, you brought up an interesting point to mention too, that the company that is financing this, Blackstone Group, I believe it was called, does have ties to Caesars Entertainment, and you have to wonder if at some point that there's not going to be a time with that. Of course, we had Poker Stars trying to buy the World Series of Poker franchise a couple of years ago.
And how amazing would that have been?
Oh, my God.
I mean, really. I mean, they get it. They get it more than the World Series does. I'm sorry to say. They get it. They just do it. I think they do it better,
Would you be shocked to see a World Series of Poker,
like a
Poker Stars merger of the franchises?
Absolutely would not be shocked. No, absolutely would not be shocked if 3-4 years from now, the Rio turns into the Poker Stars Hotel. Would not be shocked at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
There's so much out there that I'm definitely a great conspiracy theorist, but whatever.
Well, it would make sense. I mean,
I would not be shocked if this hotel structure turns into a Poker Stars hotel.
Because they want to do it. I mean, of course, we had the situation in Atlantic City where they tried to buy the Atlantic Club and then hooked up with resorts, and that didn't work out. They didn't get their license, but now they're trying to get things squared away in California with this My Group taking over now, and it should take care of that in New Jersey too. Cross the fingers. Yeah.
Yeah,
Poker Stars casino franchises.
And also, they were. I think one report even said that they were going to try and have Poker Stars in New Jersey by the end of the year. And I'm not sure if that means Poker Stars just New Jersey. I think that's what it probably means, just New Jersey player pools. I don't think it means New Jersey versus the rest of the world. I don't think that. But even still, I think that's very exciting for me personally because, this year I moved back to New Jersey from Mexico. Yeah. So to be able to have another choice in online poker just because you're in New Jersey would be great.
Now, if they get into California, though, given your choice of career and playing a lot of online poker, would it be really hard to turn down going to California with a potential player pool like you could have out there if Poker Stars got into California?
No, I mean, definitely not. That's the great thing about, living, doing this for a living. I mean, it's there's lots of downs, there's lots of ups, but, as a poker player, you go where the games are. And if the games are great in California and they're running, great tournaments out there with bigger guarantees, sure, why not go spend 6 months in San Diego? It's a nice little town. Or, I mean,
San Diego's a nice little town. I like that.
Nice little
Rosarita's a nice little town.
You know what I mean?
I know.
Rosarito, San Diego, same thing. Come on.
Yeah.
But Santa Barbara, I've been to Santa Barbara, beautiful, little tiny, really nice little beach towns. Obviously, very expensive, but you can find something. But sure, I mean that's what's great. If Idaho tomorrow, got full, rest of the world privileges, well, Joey and I'd be moving to Idaho. That's that we'd go there for 6 months and see how it was. That's just how it is. That's just what you got to do.
Idaho's all right.
Sorry?
Idaho's okay.
I have actually never been to Idaho.
I haven't either. That's one of the few I got to knock off.
Yeah.
I think North Dakota should, though.
Never been to North Dakota.
You need to go. Just not in the January.
Not in January, like the winter months. Yeah,
I've heard
it's terrible.
But then you're in there playing poker all day inside, so you're fine.
Yeah, but just like snow and shovels and slush are just no bueno.
A lot of parties, though. A lot of parties, a lot of booze,
Do you think that I party or drink?
No, that's a good point.
I really don't.
That's a good point.
and like we're not being facetious. Like
I
actually don't drink or party. No.
I'll drink though. I drank many a beer in North Dakota. many a beer. I might have my lifetime drinking supply like in that 5 years of time, and I covered the.
I don't know how you guys do it. If I have a drink or two, my head feels like an exploding nail explosive bomb going off for 4 days.
You know what the worst thing I did up there was? I joined the Century Club.
I don't know what that is.
The Century Club is you have to do a shot of beer every minute for 100 minutes.
A shot of beer, in a shot glass, every
more like a shooter glass, a little bigger,
like the little slender ones, right?
Like a big, like about this size.
Okay,
about that size.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
a shot every minute for 100 minutes.
Yeah,
that's not good for your body.
It comes out to about a 9 to 10 pack.
That's not good for your body.
No, it wasn't. But I succeeded.
Oh God. I
succeeded.
I never got into any of that stuff. I didn't finish college. I was there for a couple of years, but I never got into any of that. I never drank or did drugs and maybe you don't believe me, but I've
never done drugs.
You believe me,
yeah.
But I never could understand. I know that I'm in the minority, but I never could understand like fraternities and sororities and. I also didn't go to like dances in high school either. So I just don't get that stuff.
I didn't either, but that was because I couldn't get a date.
I
get date for my senior year. Well, yeah, I agree.
I was just like, it's all like pretend, and it all creates such a higher level of stress than you need as a 16-year-old.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
And I just decided it, and I was super athlete, super into every sport, and I just decided I was going to focus on that, and I didn't care about anything else. I didn't even go to my own high school graduation.
Wow.
Yes, I went and picked up my diploma the next day in the office.
I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have because I had gotten the worst hickey 5 days before that.
Ew!
Huge hickey. Literally softball size hickey. I don't know what I thought the poor girl took a vacuum cleaner to my neck. It was so bad.
Talk about this. Ew.
It was bad. It was bad. The conversation has deviated just a little bit. We were talking about Poker Stars and we ended up on homecoming. My homecoming date was 6'1", by the way. She was the center of your.
Probably made for an interesting photo.
Yeah, she was cool. What can I say? The tall girls like me. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just like a cuddly little teddy bear to them. I have no idea. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I don't even know what to say.
I don't know. God, I forgot about that though. I used so much foundation on graduation day. It wasn't even fun.
Foundation?
Yeah, I covered that thing up as best I could.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Boy, I caught hell for that one. Whew. I had to lie. I had the greatest lie on that, though. The greatest lie.
Which was somebody beamed you with a baseball?
Exactly, actually, because I umpired.
Yeah.
So I said I took a baseball on the side of my neck.
Yeah. I never had to lie like that growing up. I never got into situations like that growing up. So
I rarely did.
I was pretty well-behaved child.
Well, so was I. She wasn't, but.
Yeah.
No, it was, and that was just a hickey. I mean, there was nothing else. It was just a hickey. I don't know. Crazy women. My life is just scarred, isn't it, Katie?
It's very scarred.
That's how I ended up doing this. Oh, my God.
That's how we all end up doing this.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'll tell you what, let's take a commercial break, and we'll come back. We have more with Katie Stone, and we'll see who else is flying around here, too. And we'll talk about what's going on at the World Series, just for fun.
Lots of things. There's a Matt Stout is chip leading right now with less, I think they're probably on the final table bubble at this point. I was just inside railing. And an interesting fact about Matt Stout is if he makes a final table at this World Series today, it will make 4 consecutive years that he has final tabled a World Series event.
Wow.
And for anybody keeping track, that's pretty much the best you can expect to do in poker.
Yeah.
That's like, you just can't, there's really, like, other than just winning 4 bracelets, like consecutive years, final tabling 4 consecutive years, that's it.
Yeah. It's time for him to get one.
Yeah, he's
nice.
had, I think he had a second or third last summer, and then the summer before he had a second, I think. So, I do hope, and, he is the best friend of my boyfriend as well. So there's definitely a close, familial feeling of support as well. Yeah. So I, from the bottom of my heart, I really hope he wins.
All right. Well, we'll take a look and see what's going on when we come back. So stick around, everybody. Everybody, we'll be right back on the Mark Hoke Show with Katie Stone, the Grindettes, hanging out with us too. Stick around. We'll be right back.
We have good conversations, though.
The heat is on. Whether you're in the hot seat of a major poker tournament or just dealing with everyday life, stay cool with a brand new Arctic Blue cooling towel. Just wet your reusable and durable Arctic Blue cooling towel in cold water, and you'll have instant cooling relief at your fingertips for up to 5 hours. The towel is lightweight and pliable, so you can keep it handy no matter where you are. Plus, it's absorbent enough to make sure you and your clothes stay dry while you stay cool. No need to sweat it out, no matter what you're doing, when you have an Arctic Blue cooling towel handy. So get the same cooling towel used by professional athletes, poker players, first responders, physical therapists, U.S. automakers, and even reality TV stars. So what are you waiting for? Visit them today at arcticblu.com and pick yours up today. Plus, enter the discount code Mark Hoke Show when you check out and get 15% off plus free shipping to keep some of your cold hard cash in your wallet. It's like the Arctic Blue Bear says, it's not cool to be hot. So pick up your Arctic Blue cooling towel today.
One man, his lucky shirt, an unforgettable night, and a winning streak that never seemed to end. That's how Blind Squirrel began, and we haven't looked back since. We make the clothes that we want to wear for the places where we want to look and feel our best. The game, the speakeasy, and the casino floor. Blind Squirrel's small batch, high-quality gear is for people too busy grabbing life by the nuts to bother with crappy, ill-fitting clothing. Because like you, we prefer our nights long, our drinks strong, and our lucky shirt to be our most comfortable. So look good, be lucky, and visit blindsquirrelapparel.com for your new favorite shirt. As an added bonus, you'll receive 20% off your purchase with the promo code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You can also pick up Blind Squirrel apparel at the Borgata in Atlantic City and in Las Vegas at all Missouri stores at Mandalay Bay, Monte Carlo, The Mirage, and MGM Grand. Look good and be lucky with Blind Squirrel Apparel.
I'm Dutch Boyd, two-time WSOP bracelet winner, and I want to share my story with you. 12 years as a pro has taught me a lot. For the last year, I've boiled it all down into a tell-all book, 90,000 words. In Poker Tilt, I take you on my journey through all the ups and downs that poker has to offer, all the manic highs and hellish lows of every bad beat and lucky draw. So go to www.pokertilt.com to read more, or just go buy the new book on Amazon or Kindle right now, pokertilt.com. I guarantee you'll enjoy the ride.
Your business and promotion will only go as far as your website will take you. That's why the Mark Hoke Show has only trusted one name for over 2 years, BlueRail.net. Whether you need custom website design and development packages, or simply need a host for your website, Blue Rail is the only developer to turn to. It's time to discover the world-class personalized service only the Blue Rail team can provide. Visit us at BlueRail.net bluerail.net and call 520-822-5128 right now for your free consultation today. So get on board at bluerail.net. How far do you want to go?
Tough day at the Veld? Get off tilt and unstuck by escaping to the desert for an extreme off-road adventure with Sun Buggy Fun Rentals. We have the biggest fleet of off-road vehicles known in the universe. And since we know poker players aren't exactly early risers, we now offer after-dark tours for all you night owls. And don't forget to stop by the Mark Hope Show WSOP booth at the Rio to win a free Sun Buggy experience. Please call us 24/7 at 1-866-728-4443 and visit us at www.sunbuggy.com. Call us now and take the off-road ride of your life with Sun Buggy Fun Rentals.
9 poker players on a dramatic path to glory with unbelievable twists and turns that will keep you on the edge of your seat. It's the Final 9 comic from Room 110 Publishing. Go to final9comic.com to download the first issue preview and get ready for the official launch coming soon. 9 will become one way or another. Final9comic.com. And for more details, make sure to follow them on Twitter and like them on Facebook at Final9Comic.
3 World Championship fights.
Welcome to mixed martial arts.
Mexican phenom and #1 ranked strawweight woman in the world, Jessica Aguilar defends her world title against Annie Vagino. Georgie Karakhanyan defends his featherweight title against Rick Glenn.
Talk about the power.
And David Branch goes head-to-head against Jesse Taylor for the middleweight championship.
Whoa!
Saturday, June 21st, it's WSOP 10 live on NBCSN.
Las Vegas and World Series of Poker fans, don't miss your chance to see WSOP 10 live on June 21st at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Tickets on sale now, and visit us today at WSOP.com.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcasts on iTunes or at markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're even on your mobile phone at markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. Thanks for listening and being a part of The Mark Hoke Show.
Now, let's return to the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
All right, we're back here. You know, I got to find a better way to do this. I don't know why I do this when I turn the microphone on. It's kind of a bear claw thing I'm doing there. I got to do it like that. You know, just slide up. You know, just boom instead of going ah. I know it's kind of odd, and you probably don't care, but that's okay. It's all right. Well, we're back with Katie Stone of the Grindettes. So Katie, what's going on? Joe, how's Joe doing?
Yeah, he's not doing so well, but I just sent him 5 colored hearts.
Oh.
So that should allow him to win.
Is 6 too many?
No, but I ran out of colors, so
okay.
You know, I didn't want to give an additional color.
Oh, so no repeats.
Any preference?
Well, that's pretty sweet of you.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So, you know, he should just win now. There's only like 90 people left.
Yeah. That's awesome. Oh, we just learned so much about Katie Stone when we do these shows. It's amazing. Well, let's take a look at some of the events we were talking about here. The event number 31, they are now down to 12, according to WSOP.com. Matt Stout has opened up a little bit more of a chip lead. He's up at 1.35. He had somebody on his tail to start the day, but is now one of the more interesting names in poker. Do you know who this is? Raji Wazwaz.
I've never heard of him, no.
Never heard of him either. Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, a suburb of Minneapolis. Raji is now at 990. Alexander Goffman at 940. Robert Schmidt, 800,000. And, this is pretty much Brett Schaefer's in there too. So, but Matt Stout, I tell you what, with some of the names up there, I don't know all those. I know Peter Gould's a pretty good player. But you kind of got to like Matt's chances on this one.
Yeah, definitely. I don't recognize any other names with the exception of Steve McNally, who's currently in 11th, it looks like. And I thought it was him when I saw him at the other table. That's McNallyville online player, pretty well known grinder, lives in Mexico. You know, I've been playing with him for years online. Very good player. I think he might have even had a final table last year, maybe. But yeah, definitely. Even with the short stack, he's still a force.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't know anybody else. And there might be some other good players in there. I just can't recognize them right now. So
Yeah, so going to be tough beating Matt if he can get a little bit more of a chip stack.
Yeah, I mean, especially if Matt just continues to just pwn the table like he was doing as I was observing. Matt is one of those players who his skill is just one of those intangible qualities, if that makes any sense. He just, the way he is and his personality and just the way he carries himself and the way he plays and his style, he's very, very, very aggressive, but he's also very intimidating. And at the same time, he has an amazing mind for the game. And we talk a lot of poker, and I feel like I learn something every time I talk to him. And he's very good about, interesting hands that come up throughout the World Series. He, sends them to me and Joey and maybe a couple other friends, via text, and we just kind of get in on the conversation just for, learning purposes, know. And that's one of the great things about the World Series too, is that, you're all here for 2 months and you're all going to have some really ridiculous hands that you're going to need help with later on. And so, so even though you're stressed and you're playing for 2 months, it also serves as a great learning tool. Every summer I feel like I come out of the World Series a better player. Yeah. And I can absolutely say that I've felt that every single year since I started coming to the World Series in 2006. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll be following Matt as he tries to win that elusive World Series of Poker bracelet. And we'll go to the six-handed. They're down to 13 players in that one. I love this field. This is just such a fun group of players. Max Silver still leading the way. I think they're getting underway here pretty shortly, or should be underway now. Silver's at 1.27. Hiran Patel a little over $1 million, and Hiran's having a great World Series. Joe Cotta.
Anybody know who that is?
Yeah, just some guy.
Some guy from Michigan. This is the 10K. I'm sorry. This is the 10K 6 max, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 10K 6 max. Kyle White is in there, Jeremy Osmus, Dario Sammartino, JC Tran, Scott Clements, George Danzer, and I love this. Lane Flack and Eric Lindgren are both deep in a tournament together. That could be some quality entertainment.
Yep.
Martin Jacobson there and Lee Markholt. That is a very tough group to predict.
Every single one
happen.
Of those players is great.
Yeah.
Every single one. I mean, but you really kind of expect that anyway in a 5K or 10K 6 max anyway. And these are final tables that are really fun to watch. I saw Martin Jacobson walking past, and I figured that he was going. I hadn't looked to see if he was in there, but this is definitely a final table that I personally am actually going to go watching because you can learn so much just by watching, and a lot of people knock watching live poker, and of course watching live poker is just dumb anyway in general, but when you do get a final table like this, there are definitely going to be some interesting hands, and I think it's very useful to watch these.
I think one thing, a stat that got brought up that I think is very interesting, is that no World Series Poker main event winner has won another bracelet since Carlos Mortensen. I mean, is that kind of a? I mean, that's 13 guys. That's kind of shocking when you think about some of the names that are in there that they've never been able to pull off a second bracelet win.
Yeah, I mean, but remember, they kind of they get struck by lightning by winning the main. So now you're kind of asking them to get struck by lightning again, just because it is so difficult. Even though we continually see habitual bracelet winners. There's people here that are winning multiple bracelets. Dominic Nietzsche has already won 2 bracelets this year. I mean, there are people that win bracelets in multiple years, but winning the main and then winning another bracelet is just the odds are so against you, and it's tough. And a lot of the time too, the main event winner is not a top 1% player in the world. So it just makes it even harder for them.
Yeah, and Joe Cotta, and Joe's come close a couple of times.
Yeah.
Just last year, I know he can't either one heads up or finished third somewhere in there.
I remember that. Yep.
How good is Joe? Because Joe's playing online too.
Yeah, I don't know him. I haven't played that much with him. But from what people tell me, he was a good online player. I don't know too much about him, but with the exception that he was young.
He's a handsome devil too,
He seems like a nice guy.
He
seems like one of the better World Series representatives as far as being an ambassador for the game. He seems like one of the best ones that has been, winning in the past 10 to 15 years.
Do you think it's harder for those guys when they get into you win the main event? Does it the target on their back just make it that much more difficult? Is maybe that part of the reason that, other than, maybe some of the questionable in terms of talent, but, how hard is it for those guys when you see them at a table, and are people just trying to take them out and say, oh, look what I did,
Yeah, sure. Anytime, somebody, a main event winner, Greg Raymer, Joe Cotta, somebody who, goes and sits down at a table, for sure. The guy who flew in on Thursday is playing the 1500 and 1K on the weekend and going back on Monday morning to get to work by Monday afternoon. Of course he would love to knock out Joe Cotta in the 1K, that also kind of forces them to make mistakes too, as well. It kind of creates an environment where the amateur could potentially play poorly versus the professional, and the professional realizes that and understands it. But so a lot of times it just ends up with the professional, taking all of the amateurs' chips. But at least he got to play a fun pot with Joe Cotta.
Yeah.
It's usually what happens. But for sure, there's all the time I hear stories, at my table. I played a hand with Carlos Mortensen, and I 3-bet him, and and that's what it's about, though. That's what you want people. You want people to be enjoying, playing against these superstar players that are attainable for them. They, there's not many other fields of recreation or sport where an everyday guy can just go and sit down at a table with the main event champion of the world and play, on equal playing field. So it's great. I love it.
Yeah, I got to play with Moneymaker last year. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
it's just those little. It's just it's one hand that I won the hand.
You remember it.
Yeah,
you remember it, and you'll tell your friend, and then your friend might be like, oh, that's really cool. And then he might make a deposit online and try to play satellite. And, it's just, that's how it works, It's good.
Yeah, so, we'll see if Joe can pick up a World Series of Poker bracelet today in that No Limit Home 6-handed event. And, after that near miss last year, I have a feeling Joe's going to be a little bit fired up for this one. Just a hunch. I wouldn't want to be in his way. I really wouldn't. But, of course, that table is going to be brutal. Sassy Richie, by the way, still drooling over Jeremy Osmus from the radio show.
Who isn't?
Yeah, I know.
Give me an effing break. The man is pretty close to perfect.
Wow.
As is his family. He just has a perfect family. His wife literally could be on the cover of Cosmopolitan. His children could be on the cover of Pottery Barn Kids. And, he could just be on the cover of every poker magazine. So
I could be on the cover of Barbecue Weekly.
I'd be right there with you, Mark.
You're way better looking than me. Don't even give me that.
I don't even eat barbecue.
No. Event number Event number 33, No Limit Hold'em 1K started yesterday. They are kicking off day 2 on that. And we are, we've lost a few on there. Shelby Stanley. A substantial chip. He's up about 80,000, so nice start to him for the day. Walter Salas, Rio de Janeiro, and Martin Finger.
Oh,
that
beast.
guy's dangerous.
Beast.
Yeah, I forgot now. I'm trying to remember. Who did he beat last year? That He won a bracelet last year off a pretty big name, and I'm trying to remember who it was.
I definitely don't remember that, and I don't know what event it was in either.
I got to look that one up. Goran Mandic out of Croatia is up there. Brad Lisman. Vinny Pahuja is sitting now in 6th since Lisbon moved ahead of him. Dutch Boyd's still up on the board. Jonas Wexler in there. Faraz Jaka, and a cast of 80 players. So
yeah, I mean Brad Lipson, very well known online player, high stakes cash game player as well. Vinny Pahuja, East Coast beast.
Yes.
Everybody knows Vinny Pahuja and his brother Muck, who is WPT Player of the Year. Very, very good set of poker playing genes in that family.
Yeah, they're tough. I love watching Vinny play. I mean, he's just phenomenal.
Yeah, Vinny is a good guy. He's a very good player. I like the way he thinks about the game. He's somebody that I will send hand histories to if I have questions about something, specifically. He's somebody that I will definitely talk to about a hand.
Yep. And Marcel Lusk, by the way, just walking by.
Oh.
Yeah, that was Marcel. I always salute Marcel. Olivier Busquet.
I had Marcel Lusk bought me dinner in Monte Carlo at the Grand Final in 2009.
Wow.
On dinner break one day. But I doubt he remembers me. I mean, it was my friend David and my friend David and I think one other person. No, actually it was just the 3 of us. And he's a great guy. He's just so nice. We were just talking and he was like, "Let's just go to dinner." And he wouldn't let us pay. and we were in Monte Carlo and I'm like, "But this is like, even a very simple dinner salad is still going to be $40, $50."
Yeah.
And he's like, "No." And he paid for my friend David and I dinner on dinner break, and it was just very gracious of him, and just I have nothing bad to say about him.
I love listening to him sing. I've had him sing on the show before.
Yep.
That's a pleasure.
Yeah, I've heard him sing at the poker table in Monte Carlo as well. Yeah, he's definitely a funny guy.
He's one of my actually. I remember when I first started watching poker, he was one of my favorites, along with this guy, Olivier Busquet. Man, I'll tell you what. Poker players, guys are actually getting good looking in the game. It's kind of
well.
I saw the twinkle in your eye a little
there's
bit.
There's definitely, I mean, he's just a beast. But there's definitely, because poker is such a young game, people do. It's been interesting to see, not just fitness wise, but as people get older, we've all kind of been growing up together the past 10 years, if that makes sense. And so, and there's even people, just me in particular, there's even people who I, was in the chess world with, who also, along with me, switched to poker. And, I've known them since I was, like 12. And now, but there's a huge group of players that, literally have been growing up together for the past 10 years. And, now you kind of see a lot of them are branching out into other, like DraftKings is a good example of poker players, branching out and getting into something else. There's a booth here at the World Series. Faraz Jaka has, I think it's like an investing platform, like for your PC, and he's involved in that. There's lots of other examples of poker players branching out, and also one of those areas I think is fitness, just general health and fitness, and learning to be healthy and learning how to eat, and so I've seen in the past 6 years I've seen many transformations of poker players who have been I've even seen poker players who are over 300 pounds and now they're like normal 165 170 pounds but it's been fun to watch. It's been fun to see.
When you mention that too, it's so hard to believe that it's been 10 plus years, 11 years now since Chris Moneymaker won his championship. You go back, I remember watching, because I actually was dabbling a little bit in poker before the Moneymaker explosion. So I remember Robert Varconi when he won and a little bit farther back. But God, it's just, I had Greg Raymer sitting here. I was just thinking, my God, it's been 10 years since he won the world championship.
Yeah, you're telling me. I mean, I remember so much from those early days. I'm going to tell you a story right now. I remember when I first got into poker, I came from the chess world, and I thought the first thing I have to do is I have to get a teacher, because in chess, getting a teacher is very helpful, and it kind of helps set you on the right path to study. Also in chess, chess is one of those sports or mind activities that if you go about studying it the wrong way, it can actually be very detrimental for you down the line. And so my understanding of that, I thought, oh, well, poker must be the same thing. So what did I do when I decided to, switch from chess to poker? I emailed Jennifer Harmon, because, she's one of the best players. She's a woman. I thought, what a great teacher. I want her to be my teacher. And I didn't know at the time, but she was at the time playing like $100,000 cash games at Bellagio.
Wow.
And she was quite busy. She emailed me back, actually, and she said, I'm very busy playing it otherwise, but I'm sorry.
Wow.
That she couldn't. I've still never met her in person. We've been in the bathroom together at Bellagio, but I've never gotten the courage to talk to her. But she's one of my original heroes, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
I'd like to meet her
incredible.
someday.
Yeah.
I'd like to be friends with her.
Yeah. I'm not sure. By the way, Wookie Way in the chat box is saying there's a little audio problem. I don't know what's going on, because everything's reading okay on my side, so I'm not sure what's up. Just give it a refresh and drop me an email if anything else is going on. But we should be okay as far as I can tell. So, but it is what it is. Yeah, it was interesting too. When I got to meet Mike Matiso and and Helmuth and all those guys, and just being a total amateur player.
Sure.
I mean, it's just awe-inspiring when you get those opportunities and you hang out with them. I'll tell you, one of the best times I had was with Joe Stapleton.
I've never met him either.
I got to hang out with Joe, and that
he
was
seems
just
like a cool guy to hang out with.
He is, he comes off as the goofball, but he's actually a pretty down-to-earth, straightforward kind of guy, and just a lot of fun to be around. And Joe was one of those. Of course, and I watched stuff Huff and Stapes too. And of course, people remember Joe from Poker Road as well. But
I used to listen to Poker Road podcasts religiously.
Mm-hmm.
And there was, this is probably back in 2008, maybe. I think it was Bonomo and maybe Negreanu, I want to say. Does that ring a bell? They were doing like strategy podcasts. I know it was Bonomo and someone else. And who knows where those podcasts are. But I remember, listening to those things, getting in my little car and driving to Tunica, Mississippi to play a poker tournament, listening to these Poker Road podcasts, 2008. Oh, yeah. I remember those days. Yep.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
It's good stuff.
It was good stuff. I mean, it's probably still good stuff, because of who it is.
Yeah.
It's probably still going to work.
Yeah, it's just incredible what where poker has gone and the ride we've been on, and hopefully in a couple more years we're going to be all back on top and everybody's going to be happy-go-lucky and making good money.
Yeah. I definitely hope that we all make a lot of money this year.
Yeah, it's coming
next year.
Yeah. Cool. Well, how many events do you have left, by the way, Katie?
So I have the Binions 1K on Wednesday, and then I have the Monster Stack, the Little One for One Drop, and then the Ladies event. And then I have a couple more Planet Hollywood tournaments that I'm going to play. And I'm really thinking that that's going to be it for tournaments for me, just because I play mostly cash during the summers now, and I enjoy that, and enjoying poker is very important. And so I think I only have about 7 or 8 tournaments left halfway through June, which is the ideal schedule after 10 years.
Finally got to figure it out.
10 years. I finally figure out how to do it.
There you go. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, let's take one more break, and we will come right back. And once again, we'll take a look at everything happening here at the World Series. Keep talking to Katie Stone, whoever else stops by. So let's take one more break, and we'll be right back here on the Mark Hoke Show. Thank you for joining us, everybody. We're live here at the World Series of Poker. Stick around.
3 World Championship fights.
Welcome to Mixed Martial Arts.
Mexican phenom and #1 ranked strawweight woman in the world, Jessica Aguilar defends her world title against Annie Vagino. Georgie Karakhanyan defends his featherweight title against Rick Glenn.
Talk about the power.
And David Branch goes head-to-head against Jesse Taylor for the middleweight championship. Saturday, June 21st, it's WSOF 10, live on NBCSN.
Las Vegas and World Series of Poker fans, don't miss your chance to see WSOF 10 live on June 21st at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Tickets on sale now, and visit us today at WSOF.com.
The heat is on. Whether you're in the hot seat of a major poker tournament or just dealing with everyday life, stay cool with a brand new Arctic Blue cooling towel. Just wet your reusable and durable Arctic Blue cooling towel in cold water, and you'll have instant cooling relief at your fingertips for up to 5 hours. The towel is lightweight and pliable, so you can keep it handy no matter where you are. Plus, it's absorbent enough to make sure you and your clothes stay dry while you stay cool. No need to sweat it out, no matter what you're doing, when you have an Arctic Blue cooling towel handy. So get the same cooling towel used by professional athletes, poker players, first responders, physical therapists, U.S. automakers, and even reality TV stars. So what are you waiting for? Visit them today at arcticblu.com and pick yours up today. Plus, enter the discount code MarkHokeShow when you check out and get 15% off plus free shipping to keep some of your cold hard cash in your wallet. It's like the Arctic Blue Bear says, it's not cool to be hot. So pick up your Arctic Blue cooling towel today.
9 poker players on a dramatic path to glory with unbelievable twists and turns that will keep you on the edge of your seat. It's the Final 9 comic from Room 110 Publishing. Go to final9comic.com to download the first issue preview and get ready for the official launch coming soon. 9 will become 1, one way or another. Final9comic.com. And for more details, make sure to follow them on Twitter and like them on Facebook at Final9Comic.
RunGoodGear.com is one of poker's premier online stores for apparel. Their mission is to provide poker players with stylish and comfortable clothes for their daily grind. You've probably seen Run Good Gear at the World Series of Poker through Run Good Poker Pro Rob Salaburo, or around the country through the WSOP circuit. Today, RunGoodGear.com is the place to go to gear up for the poker felt. So go there now with the promo code Hoke, that's H-O-K-E, for 10% off your entire online purchase. Remember Hoke. Now go gear up. Your business and promotion will only go as far as your website will take you. That's why the Mark Hoke Show has only trusted one name for over 2 years, BlueRail.net. Whether you need custom website design and development packages, or simply need a host for your website, Blue Rail is the only developer to turn to. It's time to discover the world-class personalized service only the Blue Rail team can provide. Visit us at BlueRail.net and call 520-822-5128 right now for your free consultation today. So get on board at BlueRail.net. How far do you want to go?
One man, his lucky shirt, an unforgettable night, and a winning streak that never seemed to end. That's how Blind Squirrel began, and we haven't looked back since. We make the clothes that we want to wear for the places where we want to look and feel our best. The game, the speakeasy, and the casino floor. Blind Squirrel's small batch, high-quality gear is for people too busy grabbing life by the nuts to bother with crappy, ill-fitting clothing. Because like you, we prefer our nights long, our drinks strong, and our lucky shirt to be our most comfortable. So look good, be lucky, and visit BlindSquirrelApparel.com for your new favorite shirt. As an added bonus, you'll receive 20% off your purchase with the promo code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You can also pick up Blind Squirrel apparel at the Borgata in Atlantic City and in Las Vegas at all Masura stores at Mandalay Bay, Monte Carlo, The Mirage, and MGM Grand. Look good and be lucky with Blind Squirrel Apparel.
All right, everybody, we're going to cut the commercial break just a little bit short because we have a very special guest. You betcha. Let me get your mic on there. And we are joined by Alex Billiker, the Pot Limit Hold'em champion here at the World Series of Poker. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mark.
What a wild final table that was. You had so many great players you were playing against there with Chino Ream and Todd Brunson, Dan Shack, Barney Boatman. What was that like, just being with that group of players? I mean,
really, it was very strong, very good final table with biggest great players. But I tried, played my best poker, and seemed I would sorry for my
oh, it's okay.
English.
Don't worry about it. It's all good.
I tried to win, and I win. So at the final table, Gina Rim is more uncomfortable opponents.
Yes.
So and I was glad that he busted in 4 place. Really, when we was in top 4, I can busted 2 players, and in this time I will in hands up with 80% of chips, but I did not make 50-50 call. That's why we remain top 3, and after my one of 3 players busted, we remain in hands up, and after what happened.
It was an incredible comeback, down 9-1 against Matt O'Donnell. That's one of the top comebacks we've seen here at the World Series in quite a few years. What was that? Take us through the heads up and what you did to manage to come back to beat Matt and win that.
Really, it was my plan for this heads up. I make specific strategy for playing with my opponents, because I did not make 3-bet. I did all times limp, because I cannot high pot because I don't have a lot of chips. So all my actions, if I make one time 3-bet, I will connect with the bank, and I cannot fold.
Right.
Understand what I say? That's why I play all times with good hand, with bad hand, just limp. But my opponents did not understand where he is. He is better hand of loose hand, but step by step I get chips back.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it was that was something that everybody noted, that you were limping so much that people just aren't used to seeing that style, and obviously it threw Matt off a lot. I mean, that was a great decision on your part.
Yes, it was. I think it was right decisions to make limp directly, and that's why also. Even when I was chip leader in this heads up, I continue play by limp, and in this case, I could play post flop, and I think in this heads up I played post flop is better than my opponents.
Now the last card hits, you win the bracelet. Take us through that moment. What were you feeling? How was it? What were you thinking when that happened and it was done?
If I correct and understand you, I'm happy, and I will try make one more score, big score.
Oh, so you're ready? You're ready to do it again already?
Yes, I see my time in two. I'm second in the Player of the Year, and I will try to get my make my best results. I won't be first in this year.
Oh, there you go. Sounds like a plan. You want to show everybody at home that bracelet? We got a camera up here. You want to show them the bracelet real quick?
Yeah.
It is a thing of beauty.
It's very easy when I have it.
Look at that. I'll tell you what. The dream comes true for Alex here, as the Jason of Beverly Hills bracelet. Look at that shiny gold. You gotta love it. Well, Alex, congratulations. I know you're in another tournament right now, but thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Pleasure to meet you. So there you go.
Sorry, Simit, not well.
You're good. No, you were fine. It's all good.
If I correct understand what you said, I tried to set all was what I know.
Yes.
I don't have any practice.
Thank you.
Just in America and Europe when I.
There you go. Well, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. There you go. Alex Bilcor, event number 28 winner. Come on, he was all good. He's worried about the English. I think he was fine. That's a nice win. Joe Payne is back from New York, everybody.
I am. A little under the weather, but I'm back.
Don't touch
I don't know,
me.
just hearing Alex.
Don't touch me.
I won't touch you, I promise. He may have just rewritten a book on how to play heads up on a final table by, that's unheard of, just limping.
Yeah, that was something that the poke, in the WSOP report, really said, my God, he's limping every pot. What's going on here?
And he continued the limping even when he became the chip leader.
Well, one thing, when I play heads up, I do okay playing heads up. I kind of follow the Olivier Bousquet min raise rule, just to really disguise the hands, and he kind of did the same thing. But he didn't. Normally when you're in that heads up spot and you're down so far, it's fire away. I've got a big hand, I'm going to fire away, and he just made a tactical decision. I'm just going to chip away little by little by little, and then came out and shocked Matt O'Donnell. That was an unreal comeback.
You read any book. I'm talking about any poker book where they talk about how to play at a final table. And I don't think there's a book around right now that will not suggest to you that when you are short stack, you find the hand and you play for all your chips all at one time. Alex, did just the opposite, and he did it for long periods of time because he was down 9-1 in chips, fought his way back, not only to get even and then take the lead, but then continue to play the same methodical pace of just limping in, which had to be confusing to his opponent because you just never know what he has.
Right, exactly. You're just it was a perfect way to disguise hands, good or bad.
I wasn't around. I just come out of a sick bed basically, but it looks like he didn't 3-bet one time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Maybe there'll be a new book on how to limp your way to a World Series bracelet.
Yeah, maybe. And coming from a 9-1 down.
Wow.
That's one of the biggest deficits we've seen erased in the last couple of years. Of course, Alan Cunningham had a 16-1 that he lost last year, if I remember correctly. But I can't remember anything else close to that recently.
If I remember correctly, on the Alan Cunningham situation, his opponent wasn't limping in. His opponent would find a hand push. Alan.
Well, it was a limit game, though, if I remember right. Yeah, it was, but yeah. So Alex Bullock stopping by and picking up bracelet. Boy, I figured he'd gotten that by now. That was back in event. Let me see what event that was. 28 or 29.
I've been 28. a little bit out of the loop, so to speak. Got back in on Saturday night, late. Spent the entire day in bed yesterday. Didn't leave bed at all, and then actually just woke up. My intention was to be here at 1 o'clock, and I just said, you know what? If I wake up and I feel better, I'm going to come down. You had texted me early in the morning, which I didn't see because I was out cold.
Oh, it's okay.
But when you said you needed me to bring something down for you, I'm like, it was 1 o'clock. I'm like, you know what? Let me get into the shower and get down here. And I said, I'll probably time it walking in during the bracelet ceremony, and I'll bring you the bracelet when as my trying to say, I'm sorry I'm late, but I'm going to bring you a pretty good guest.
It's okay. Hey, we had Katie Stone on here too, and Justin Oliver too. So,
yeah, so they carried the fort for me, so to speak.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm glad to be back.
We missed you, Joe.
I wish I was still in New York for Game 6 tonight, but
you're not.
Which led me, and as I was flying home before I was sick, I wanted to pose this question to you because I know you're a hockey fan, and you're pretty much an expert on poker.
Uh-huh.
Now I know one is a team sport and one is an individual sport.
Okay.
What do you think is more difficult to do when in this current stage of poker? Win a World Series of Poker bracelet or win the Stanley Cup?
Ooh. Well, there's only one Stanley Cup.
I understand that.
Oh, my God.
So let's talk about win the main event or win the World or win the Stanley Cup.
I think it's easier to win the Stanley Cup than the main event.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to say that. Well, it's so random. It's so crazy. I mean, you got 32 hockey teams. Did I get 30. 30, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm thinking baseball, sorry.
Maybe you weren't that big of a hockey
Well,
fan.
you know what, I'm sorry. But with it's a 1 in 30 shot at the beginning of the season.
Well, technically it's a 1 in 30 shot.
Technically it's a 1 in 30 shot, just like the World Series of Poker main event. It's a 1 in 7,000 shot
for some people.
Yeah, for some people.
Other people
just like some have better odds.
Right.
Just like
some players have more tickets in the drum than others, but
I'm going to say it'd be harder to win the main event.
Okay. What about any World Series event?
Yeah, that's kind of iffy because you do have multiple opportunities during a World Series, as opposed to one opportunity.
It's not lose four and you're gone.
Yeah, I mean if you're going 1-on-1 though, I'll take my chances on the Stanley Cup.
I still think the Stanley Cup is just so difficult.
Oh, of course it is
to win. And my boys did a good job. I'm proud of them. Hats off to LA. They played a great series. It didn't hurt that the refs had LA King sunglasses on.
Oh, jeez. There he goes. Yeah, by the way, congratulations to the San Antonio Spurs.
Wow, there's another. A lot of the haters are feeling real good today. There were a lot of Miami Heat haters out there.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, just like there are a lot of Ranger haters out there. When you're a good organization, people hate you. Like the Yankees. The Yankees are a good organization, but people hate the Yankees.
Oh yeah, they're Satan's team. You didn't know that?
I don't like the Yankees.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm a Boston Red Sox fan.
I'm just making sure you understood that. We got to make that clear.
I root for any team that's playing the Yankees.
There you go. Good man. Good man, Joe. Yeah. So yeah.
Good to be back though.
Yeah.
You can feel like I feel like I'm under the weather. Does it look like I'm under the weather a little bit or no?
Not too bad though. You look okay on camera until you go like that. Then you kind of that doesn't work. And by the way, I got to get this in too because I forgot to mention this yesterday, and then more news piled on. 3 prominent celebrities passed away within the last 4 or 5 days.
I saw that.
Don Zimmer.
Yeah.
Of course, well known for his baseball manager and coach.
And his fight.
Yeah, and the fight with Pedro.
The
fight with Pedro. And of course, Casey Kasem passing away
Yeah,
yesterday.
I saw that.
The radio legend, American Top 40, and all the stuff that he did. And today, Tony Gwynn.
Oh, from the San Diego Padres?
Mr. Padre passed away
Wow.
from 58 years old from cancer
58?
today. Yeah.
That's young.
Yeah, so Tony Gwynn passed away too. So
I hope I get to see 58.
I think, didn't you make it?
I said I hope to get to see 58.
Oh, you want to back it up?
Why can't you just leave it at that?
You just want to back it up? I could have, but that's not my style, Joe.
Just couldn't leave it alone, could you? And while I was gone, I understand James Woods was taken out of Rio on a stretcher. Is that true?
I think he had the same thing I did. I get the feeling that was the no virus.
What is the no virus?
Well, it's what I had apparently, from what I can tell.
Just whatever you do, don't get it. It's a no.
Yeah, that's not good. Apparently, I think Jack Eiffel had it too. He was down. Jack told me he had to lie down on the floor of his office for a little while.
I wasn't feeling good when I got off the plane. I wasn't feeling good, and then Saturday night and all day Sunday, man, I was not at my best.
Yeah.
But I will say this: a lot of interesting things happened while I was gone, and one seems to doesn't want to go to bed, so to speak, and that's the Mike Matusow penalty.
Yeah.
Now, you and I initially, when we heard it, we thought that maybe it might have been an overreaction by David Lamb. Now another report comes out that it was anything but an overreaction by David Lamb. And then I just read an article by Poker News, and I don't know the timeline on this.
Yeah, did you see my the show that when I got all the information?
No, I did not see that show, but
I broke that one down hard.
But from what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, I got bits and pieces. I read that the rule about excessive celebration was taken out of the rules.
Yeah, it
for
wasn't
this year's World Series.
Yeah, it wasn't for excessive celebration. It was for disruptive behavior.
Disruptive behavior.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it was. And for according to a lot of people that were there, it was quite disruptive.
Okay.
And he'd gotten warned a couple times before in the day. So yeah, that was.
It seems strange because, like I say, David's been around for years. A very credible tournament director.
Dave and the staff aren't throwing penalties out there just for fun. especially with Mike. You're not going to do that to a high-profile player without
Now,
legitimate
have you had
reason.
Mike,
So,
has Mike stopped by the? I know Mike was at the booth prior to this. Has Mike stopped by since?
I have not spoken to Mike since.
Interested to get him on to see if he would. If he has now
a different perspective.
A different perspective of what went down, because we know that Mike has extreme highs and extreme lows.
Right.
And now, was this a case of Mike just being at a low right then?
I think it was. I mean, Mike had said that he was having some issues with medication, some new medication and stuff. So I kind of leaned towards it was just a bad day for Mike, and it shouldn't be held against him or anything like that. It just one of those things that he kind of lost it, and I don't know.
Unless it's one of Dave's All-American girls, then you can hold it against.
Oh, that's fine.
But then Mike's getting married, so maybe he's not interested in that anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you would have an All-American Dave girl. You would hold that against you.
Sure.
For how long? As long as she'll
as long as she doesn't run away. As long as she doesn't run away.
So anything I need to be brought up to speed on?
Well,
Mark Hoke show, has it gone to syndication all over the world?
Not yet.
Not yet?
We're working on it.
And as you know, while I was back in the New York area, I was listening in, actually calling in a couple of times too. So kind of interesting watching the show from 3,000 miles away.
Yeah. Fortunately, you can do that at markhokeshow.com.
You can watch it from 10,000 miles away.
You can watch it on Mars
and
if you get the signal.
I don't know how the internet connection would be up there, but
you never know. There's probably a satellite flying around up there. You
wire,
can look
maybe. So even if you weren't able to watch it live, you can watch it at a later date.
Yep. YouTube,
our
WSOP highlight reels on markhokeshow.podbean.com and iTunes.
It's almost like having TiVo.
Yeah.
Just watch it at your leisure.
You gots to love it. Hey, by the way, update on the 7-card stud tournament. It's down to 53 players. They just got that updated. And Daniel Negreanu has moved up into 5th place. So Daniel
While I was gone, neither Daniel nor Phil has cashed in on that bet yet. Is that correct?
No, they have not.
They've come close, though.
Both
They were both sniffing around.
Yeah. Daniel was heads up. I don't think Ivy's made a final table yet. I don't think Ivy made a final table yet.
Daniel's made 2, I think, right?
I know one for sure. He was close on another one. I think he
Yeah.
finished like 13th or 12th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's been kind of hanging around there. But Negreanu is in 5th place now in the 7-card stud tournament. John DiAgostino's going up to 8th. Bryn Kenny 13th. Cindy Violetta's in 15th in this tournament. That would be fun. Who else do we have?
She's a 7-card specialist, huh?
Yeah. Oksana Cummings. There's a new name. I've never heard of Oksana Cummings, but I'm going to give credit on that. 20th place. Yeah. So that's where the 7-card stud is right now. So Daniel Negreanu trying to make a run.
Now, while I was away, I heard you and Raymond Davis having this, playing around with this term, the unofficial final table.
Yes. What's up?
So the final table at all World Series events is 9 or less, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So where did this unofficial final table come up? Because
10. Nolan told me that story a while back. Why they do the lop off, and I'm going to have to ask him about that. Because I know he told me that story of why they made it. It didn't just come up with the November 9. This happened a long time ago that they made this an unofficial final table at 10.
In other words, the 10th player who's not the bubble, because the bubble is usually the money bubble. But the final table bubble is usually the 10th player in a hold'em event where tables get down to 9-handed. So are they calling that if you finish 10th, you're the unofficial final table?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a screw job.
Really don't make that much of a difference,
I think
right?
it does.
10th place,
If you're at the final, here's the table, right? There's all these tables in this event, hundreds of tables, and everybody else is gone, and you're at this one.
That's the official final table.
That is a final table. That is the final table. If you are one of those people in one of those 10 seats, you have made the final table.
9 seats.
What happens when you take that? Why do you take that 10th person? Just goes. Shh.
I don't know.
No, you don't count. That's not right.
Do we know why the World Series went to? Because
I
remember Poker League, we always have 10 people at a final table. A lot of other events, other than the World Series that I played in, have 10 people at the final table. Is there a reason?
There is, and I forgot it. I'm gonna when we get Nolan down here. That'll be the first thing I'm gonna ask him to tell.
Why
that story
do we go
again.
to 9? Why not?
Either
10?
you or Jack will know the answer to that.
Okay.
By the way, Dutch Boyd has moved up to 4th place in event number 33, the $1,000 no-limit hold'em that started yesterday. Still led by Shelby Stanley, but Boyd has moved up to 4th. Who else is up there? Wexler sitting in 11th. But, so apparently Dutch picking up a few chips, moving up. He's moving on up. Of course, with the new book, Poker Tilt, it's easy to move on up.
Come on in.
Oh, Joe, look at this.
You see the love I get? I wait for a couple of days, and I just get
a
beautiful Southern lady come over and just kiss me on the cheek. I'm not washing my face tonight. You know that.
There you go. Joe scores. Joe scores. Way to go, Joe. All right.
Any girl 25 or older, I got him.
25 or older? Wow.
Maybe.
I got money on that one.
Maybe 45 or older.
Okay, there you go.
You know me, numbers, not 10 people, 9 players.
Yeah. Math is not your strong suit.
No, not at all.
Nope.
I wish the casinos would understand that. Math is not my strong suit.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a lot worse at spelling. Thank God for spell check.
Spell check's the greatest thing ever.
My God. If we didn't have spell check, you probably wouldn't have hired me. And when I sent you my resume, you'd be like, guy can't even spell.
If you could just spell flyers, you'd be all right. Well, you could spell it, but it probably won't be the way I'd spell it.
What was the word?
Flyers.
Oh, Philadelphia Flyers.
Flyers. Yeah. You know. Anyway.
A Y is supposed to an I.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, there is a Y in there. That is correct.
There is a Y in there.
As we fly.
But there could be an I in there, too.
But the I wouldn't look right.
What's that?
The I wouldn't look right. Because then, you know what? If they were the FLIERS, they'd probably make the little dot a hockey puck or something stupid like that. No. We got the Y with the wing and everything. It's pretty.
You ought to get a goaltender. That might help.
We have one.
Now you do.
All right. We're all good. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. We're pretty much at 3 o'clock, so we're going to wrap up here.
Oh, I got a half a day today.
Yeah.
Not even half a day.
Yeah, there you just got his bracelet winner. So
got the bracelet winner. I made good.
Yes, we did. So we have.
Plus, you had Katie Stone filling in for me. She does a wonderful job.
Katie was here, and of course, Justin Oliver stopping by after a wild heads-up match last night of a whole 4 hands.
Who do we got lined up for tonight?
I don't know.
I may even stay around since I got in late. I may stay around for tonight.
That would be awesome.
If you need me.
Oh, I'd love that, Joe.
I may stay around.
That would be very handy. And of course,
One thing I'm not as handy.
Alex Billacor also stopping by, bracelet winner in event number 20.
The 1-9 bracelet winner.
Yeah, not bad.
Impressive.
Yeah, that was event number 28. The pot limit hold'em.
His English was not bad either.
No, he was fine.
He was like, when we were walking over, he was like, my English is not good. I'm like, either is mine, I said, so don't worry about it.
Exactly.
Mark deals with me.
Yeah, we're all good. Yep. So good show, and want to thank everybody for tuning in. We'll see you back here tomorrow night or tonight at 6:30
p.m. Not tomorrow night.
Tonight at 6:30 p.m. So thanks for joining us, you guys. We'll see you next time on the Mark Hoke Show, live here from the World Series of Poker.
Great to be back.
Yep. We'll see you later.